Every day you should be observing your hamster's behaviors and asking yourself 3 questions. Is your hamster interested in food and eating? Are they behaving as usual? And are they active and alert as usual? Now, when it comes to a more physical health check, if your hamster is used to human interaction, you likely are going to be able to do a physical health check pretty quickly every single time you take them out or interact with them. And it gets easier and easier once you know what you are looking for specifically. If you have a really wiggly or squirmy hamster, using food can be really helpful. You can either use a larger treat for your hamster to hold, or I like to use baby food for them to kind of lick while I just give them a little look over. So first off, I'm just going to take a look at their ears, make sure that there is no discharge coming from them and that there doesn't appear to be any lumps. A common occurrence in dwarf hamsters is actually warts in the ears, so that is definitely something to look out for if you own a dwarf hamster. Also, make sure that your hamster's ears are up and alert, especially if they haven't just woken up and they've already had time to wake themselves up. If the hamster's ears are folded back, this could be an indication that something is wrong. Next, I'm going to take a look at the eyes. I'm also going to make sure that these are clear, they don't look irritated, they're not cloudy, and they have no discharge coming from them, as well as they appear to be the same size as they always are. If you notice that your hamster's eyes are bulging all of a sudden, this could be an indication of dental issues, glaucoma, trauma to the eye infection, or tumors. Next, we're going to take a look at their nose. Do they have any discharge coming from it? And do they appear to have labored breathing? If so, these could be signs of an upper respiratory infection. Now we're going to take a look at their mouth and teeth. This can be a little bit more difficult, but really all you have to do is just take a treat and kind of hold it above their head so that they kind of have to reach and open their mouth to grab it. And that should give you enough time to kind of just give a quick look into their mouth and teeth. Hamster teeth should always be yellow or orange in color, as this indicates healthy teeth, unlike white teeth, which can be an indication of stress or poor nutrition. A hamster's bottom teeth will always be longer than the top teeth. Typically, the bottom teeth are around 2 to 3 times the length of the top teeth. If your hamster appears to have a broken tooth, don't panic right away. As long as your hamster is still able to eat their daily diet, the tooth will eventually grow back. Otherwise, see a vet. And lastly, if you notice any sort of odor coming from inside their mouth, you're going to want to see a vet. This can be an indication that your hamster has an impacted cheek pouch. Next, look at your hamster's fur and skin. You can do so just by petting them. Look out for any fur loss, skin abnormalities, as well as lumps and bumps. Remember that Syrian and Chinese hamsters have 2 scent glands located on each side of their hips, so this location may have less fur, it might have some darker pigmentation, as well as it might appear wet sometimes, and this is all completely normal. Now for dwarf hamsters, they have 1 scent gland located in the middle of their belly, and if you notice that it is smelling or looks really crusty, this could be an indication that it is infected. Next, we're going to look at our hamster's nails and paws. For Syrian and Chinese hamsters, they are going to have tiny bumps on the bottom of their paw. This is normal, this is their paw pad. And as for dwarf hamsters, the bottom of their paw is going to be covered in hair and smooth. You're going to want to check for any cuts or scabs in case that you do see any on their feet. Make sure you do give a thorough check over of their enclosure in case there's any sharp that could be causing a cut in the foot. And keep an eye on it that it doesn't look infected at all. Typically, a little scab is going to heal over okay, but because it is located at the bottom of their foot, there is a chance that it could become infected, so just keep an eye out on it. When looking at your hamster's nails, they should be short. If you notice any nails that are starting to curl or look a little bit longer than usual, you are going to need to cut them. If you leave the hamster's nails to continue to grow, they can start to grow into the paw pad, causing your hamster a lot of pain. Next, you're going to want to check your hamster's private bits. Make sure that there's no discharge, blood, or diarrhea coming from them. Keep in mind that female hamsters do not have a period where they bleed. Any sort of blood coming from their private area needs to be seen by a vet immediately. When it comes to a male hamster, they are capable of tucking their testicles depending on a couple of factors. If it's warm and they're comfortable, a lot of the times they'll have them out in the open, or if it's a little bit colder or they're nervous, they may go ahead and tuck them inside. So if you notice that one day they appear larger than normal, that could be why. Lastly, I like to weigh my hamsters. I use a digital kitchen scale, and I typically do this about once a week, and I write down their weights every week. This way, if my hamster suddenly gains or loses weight, this is an early indication that something is wrong, and I'm able to go to the vet right away. If you have a really wiggly hamster, an easy way to weigh them is just take a dish or cup, put it on the scale, press 0, which will zero it out, and then you can put your hamster in there with a treat, and it'll weigh your hamster without you having to worry about them running off. Now, if you own a hamster and you're not able to physically pick them up, or they just don't like it, you are still able to do a physical health check by using just a clear dish or cup. This way you're still able to look at everything. It's not going to be quite as in-depth as being able to handle them, but it still is going to allow you to check for anything that could be wrong with your hamster. Now, if you notice anything mentioned in the video or your hamster's behavior suddenly change, it's super important that right away you book a vet appointment. Hamsters are so good at hiding illness, and typically by the time a hamster actually starts physically showing signs that they're ill, it may even be too late to help them recover. So the sooner that you notice something is slightly off, the more likely they are to recover from whatever is wrong with them. So I hope this video was helpful, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!